Lesson 6-4, Example 3. Our objective is learning to display and analyze data in bar graphs. And here we have some data. Club membership, the clubs art, music, and science. And we have two sets of data, boys and girls, and how many club memberships for each. We can use this information here. We can create a double bar graph. And a double bar graph just shows two sets of related data. In this case, the number of memberships for boys and the number of club memberships for girls. So just like we do with a single bar graph, we're going to have a y-axis and an x-axis. So I'm going to go ahead and set that up, and I'm going to fill in my labels as well. In this case, I think I'm going to make some horizontal bars. I could do vertical bars too. I'm just going to choose to do vertical bars. That means over here I'm going to have my clubs. So here's going to be my science, and here's going to be my art. Let's make sure I spell science correctly here as well. Science, there's an E in there. Art and music. And these are all the types of clubs, so I'm going to label that clubs. So down here are going to be the number of memberships. Number of club memberships. And that's going to be the actual number one. So over here, this is going to be 0. So again, I have to think of my scale and my interval here. Well, my highest data point is 16. That gives me quite a bit of room here. So I think I'm going to make every one of these bars 1. So that means 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16. So every line there is just one club membership, which makes it really nice and precise. I can be really precise when I have just low numbers like that. If I had larger numbers, I might need to change this so that it's like every 4. So 4, 8, 12. But in this case, I can just do every one. So let's go ahead and actually go through here and graph our data. So we're going to look through, and for science, let's do science first. Well, science here, for boys, they had 16 memberships there. So that is going to be right here. I'm going to use my straight edge just to keep things nice and precise. And the bar here is just going to be one unit width. And for girls, that was 10. So that is right here. And notice that I'm going to put these two bars right together. And that those two bars are the same width. They're both just 1 unit wide. And so here are my boys and here are my girls. And I'll show you how I'm going to distinguish that a little bit more clearly in just a moment. But I'm putting them right together. Now I'm going to skip a couple spaces and go up and do art. Well, boys had 12 memberships in art, and the girls had 8. And then for music, the boys had 6, and the girls had 14. So now I have all my data graphed out, but I need to know precisely which is the girls and which is the boys. So I'm going to, down here, use color. And when I use the different color, I need to make sure that I'm giving a key so that I know that boys are going to be green, and the girls are going to be a purple. And so the girls down here, so again, science, they had 10, and I can go in and shade in that. And the boys were green. So that color there helps very clearly distinguish between those two sets of data, between the girls in the purple and the boys in the green. But it also allows me, because those bars are right together, to compare between the boys and girls, as well as compare just the club memberships for the girls or just the club membership for the boys. I can use this graph in a couple different ways. My final step is I need to make sure that I have the title, and the title for this is Club Memberships. And there we go.